And I was always reading from the Good News Version. And it reads as follows: when the human race had spread all over the world, and daughters were being born, some of the heavenly beings saw that these young women were beautiful. So they took the ones they liked. Then the Lord said, I will not allow people to live forever. They are mortal. From now on, they will live no longer than 120 years. In those days, and even later, there were giants on the earth who were descendants of human women and the heavenly beings. They were the great heroes and the famous men of long ago. When the Lord saw how wicked everyone on earth was, and how evil their thoughts were all the time, he was sorry that he had ever made them and put them on the earth. He was so filled with regret that he said, I will wipe out these people that I have created, and also the animals and the birds, because I am sorry that I made any of them. But the Lord was pleased with Noah. And we scroll down, go to verse 11. Noah had no faults and was the only good man of his time. He lived in fellowship with God, but everyone else was evil in God's sight, and violence had spread everywhere. God looked at the world and saw that it was evil, for the people were all living evil lives. God said to Noah, I have decided to put an end to the whole human race. I will destroy them completely because the world is full of their violent deeds. Build a boat for yourself out of good timber. Make rooms in it and cover it with tar inside and out. Make it 133 meters long, 22 meters wide, and 13 meters high. Make a roof for the boat and leave a space of 44 centimeters between the roof and the sides. Yeah. Build it with 3 decks and put a door in this side. I am going to send a flood on the earth to destroy every living being. Everything on earth will die, but I will make a covenant with you. Go into the boat with your wife, your sons, and their wives. Take into the boat with you a male and a female of every kind of animal and every kind of bird, in order to keep them alive. Take along all kinds of food for you and for them. Noah did everything God commanded. You may have a seat. So we in youth church, number one request from the kids was to actually break down the Bible, book by book. So we went out of order for a little bit. We did Leviticus, but we're back in Genesis, and I purposely skipped Noah. The reason why I skipped Noah, and I told them this, is because while studying Noah, I felt like there was more to talk about than what we could back there. There's something about Noah and the relationship that he had with God that I think we as a people take for granted when we live our everyday lives. All right. I think it's one of the most valuable things we can do. I think it's one of the things that's either going to make us successful or make us a failure. And that is our connection with people, our connection with God. What puzzled me is that God made human beings in his image. And because of the violent deeds, he only saw one good man left, and that was Noah. So I studied and I did research because I wanted to know personally, how strong was that connection and what qualities did that connection have? That's right. That with God that enabled him to be looked at as the only righteous man left, the only one worth sparing. Not only that, but to be connected with him to spare his sons, his wife, because the Bible does not mention that his sons and their wives was living good, that his wife was living righteous. The Bible states clearly that Noah was the only man. So I wanted to study that connection. So the reason why we skipped the games today, because we're going to do something different. Q, can you grab the boards for me? We're going to do something different today. I need 4 volunteers, and it don't have to be kids.
Caleb said he wants to go.
You don't have to be for us. You don't have to be for us. I need 4 volunteers real quick. Y'all can come up. Y'all can come up. Thank you, Miss.
I'm young still.
Hey, I call you Young Anthony Hamilton anyway, man. So I appreciate you. Caleb. There we go. I need 2 more. Ty, thank you. I need 1 more. Mark. Okay. Alright. So here's what I need y'all to do. Missy, you stand behind the podium real quick. Caleb, you go over there to the right. Ty, you go over there. Mark, you go over there. Alright. Now, I need all of my kids to come up. That's ages, 10 and up. All my kids 10 and up, I need you to come forward. Unless you're a guest. If you're a guest, I don't believe in putting guests in the spot. We want you to come back. We don't want to run you away. So, unless you're a guest, you can stay seated. But all my kids, come on. Hey, Mark. Okay. Eyes. Damn, look at the 2 boys. Oh, never mind. They hold up the thing. Alright, so here's what I need you guys to do, right? Because I believe you guys are all smart. You're all talented. You're all capable of doing great things. One thing about school, though, is we end up connecting with the right people or we connect with the wrong people. A lot of times our crowds can be our influence. It's not necessarily us, but the way we're easily influenced by people, right? So here's what I need you guys to do. On these boards, it's 4 qualities of a person, right? So it's 4 qualities. We're gonna take about a couple minutes. I need you guys to go to all of these boards and connect with the person that you would normally connect with in school. The person that you're more than likely to connect with, the person you're more than likely to be friends with, to study with, go to the movies with, whatever may happen. Be honest. This ain't got no gift cards or no right or wrong answer today. But I can't help you guys if you're not honest, okay? So I need you to be honest with yourselves. This ain't nobody gonna judge you or anything like that. But go to the boards, read the qualities, stay with the person. Whether it's Amara, whether it's Mincy, whether it's Caleb, or whether it's TAKEOVER. Stay with the person that you would normally connect with. Go. Y'all do me a favor, lift your signs real quick so the people can, and the audience can see your signs. Let's see your signs. Let's see your signs. Alright. Huh. Okay. Alright. Messi, you can put yours down. You can put yours down a little bit. I don't want you to go. You're going to be a head for a minute. I don't want you all to the time. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, sir. Stay in shape, sir. Stay in shape. Stay in shape. All right. So, pretty much in studying and reading, the connection that God and Noah had is one of the most special connections I've read about. And it's one of the boldest connections I've heard about. Because regardless of what was going on in his life, regardless of what was around him, regardless of what people said, Noah stayed and walked in faith with God. So I made these qualities, and I'm going to tell you which one is Noah and which one is not. All right? So first and foremost, I'm proud of y'all because you were honest. And then number 2, I don't know if it was just because he on the pulpit, but nobody wanted to be with Messi. So let's see. Ty, let's start with you, buddy. So yours, for those that can't see, yours says true friend, well-spoken, rich and wealthy, and a listener. Those are the qualities that Javon and Jeray chose to be with. So Ty Carey, unfortunately, you are not Noah. Here's why you are not Noah. Noah had all of those qualities except for the third one, rich and wealthy. Now, in regards to Noah, Noah was just simply a farmer, right? Noah didn't really have a lot, right? So, but Noah was righteous and he was valued because of the way he walked, the way he talked, the way he preached the gospel while he was doing everything that he was doing. So yours is going to be quick. I ain't even going to have you up here long. But understand that when you're connecting with someone, that their value is not based on what they have, but their value is based on how they live. It doesn't matter what you have. To be honest with you, to have a transparent moment, my brokest days was when I was living without God. I have literally, it's a slogan, but I literally have because I give. My absolute brokest days as an adult, when I was just sitting home skipping bills so I could go buy an eighth and smoke my problems away. You know what I'm saying? When I would go to happy hours and drink my life away because I hated my job. My absolute brokest days was when I was completely living without God. Noah didn't have a lot, but he had God. So anybody that lives with God, you would never be without. Now, people in here is struggling, but I don't know anybody in here that's Mr. Middle. People in here are struggling behind the bills, right? But I don't know anybody in here that's homeless. As long as you have faith in God, you will never be without. So it didn't matter what exactly what Noah had. He didn't have to be rich. He didn't have to be wealthy. But his value was based on how he lived. Y'all can sit down. Y'all can sit down. What we got over there? Mara, raise yours up. Mara, raise yours up. His says popular, thoughtful, true friend, safe. Kayla, what does yours say? Outcast, trustworthy, spiritual, connected, risky, listener, and thoughtful. I said I was proud of them for not being up there with you because the word risky is up there. Unfortunately, Missy, you and I know either. Noah was connected, Noah was thoughtful, but Noah was safe. He wasn't risky. Let me tell you a story, Missy. So I have this little fur ball of a creature at my house. He's not even the height of my PlayStation. He just happens to go by the name of Chestnut, right? So I do. Chestnut is family. I love Chestnut. So Chestnut, we ain't hanging out partners. Like we ain't best buds. You know what I'm saying? Me and Chestnut, we have different motives, right? So I want to come home and relax. I want to chill. I want to watch some TV and stuff like that, right? Chestnut loves attention. And I like my private space, right? So Chestnut, what he does when he wants something, he'll come sit and stare at me, right? And he got these like big brown eyes, so you can't miss him. Like even if you're looking straight, they're gonna be in your periphery, right? I can't focus on the game when you sitting here looking at me just because you're hungry. I will feed you when I get ready to feed you, right? Me and Chestnut, so he likes to cuddle, right? Which is why he follows Shane everywhere he go. Shane will give him the attention, Shane will cuddle him, but Shane will also let him get away with what he wants to get away with, right? But the crazy thing about Chestnut deals well with women, right? Because women come on soft, oh, hey, Chestnut, all that googly stuff, right? But then he doesn't do well with men. So men come out, yo, what's up, Chestnut? He go running. He go running away. 95% of the time, Chestnut goes to her. When he doesn't feel safe, Chestnut comes to me. Chestnut will run, he'll sit between my legs, or he'll sit beside me, or he'll lay, because he knows regardless of our relationship, he's family. And I would never let anything happen to him. Notice in the Bible, it does not say that Noah had to go out and get these animals. Animals have a funny way of when they feel in danger, they'll come to you. A stray cat will come to you if he's in danger. He won't come to you if he feels safe. Animals have a funny way of coming to you in their time of need. So when you are, and this is the most important part, because a lot of people think the connection is about dealing with other people, but really the most important part of the connection is about yourself. How are you when people come to you in your time of danger? When people come to you and they share their stories with you, are you risky or are you safe? Are you discreet with the information that they give to you? Do you take it home and pray for them? Do you constantly keep in contact with them? Like, hey, I know you said this and that and the third. I just wanted to check up on you. I love you and you're constantly in my prayers. Are you risky or are you safe? Noah was safe. They came to Noah. Noah didn't have to go out and find these animals. He didn't have to go hunting. He didn't have to go searching. They came to him because Noah was safe. When people come to you, and this is for all of y'all, because people's lives are at risk. You guys deal with depression at an unprecedented failure rate. That's right. Yeah. When people come to you, because people will, and share their personal stories, share their hurt, share their pain, share the stuff that they're going through, treasure that. Don't take that for granted because they could have came to somebody else. But most importantly, make sure that you're safe. Don't go gossip about their problems. Don't go talking to other people about what they're going through. It's hard enough as African Americans for us to go out and actually tell people about our problems because we hold stuff in. I'll be honest with you. I tell no one about my marriage. No one. No problems that I'm going through. I tell nobody. Right? So it's 95% of a good thing, but the other 5% is when we actually going through something, I don't talk to nobody. So I hold all of those emotions in to the point where 3 weeks ago, I almost had a mental breakdown and walked completely out of my job. When people, it's hard enough for people to come to you as it is. Make sure that you're safe and not risky. Y'all can have a seat. Y'all can sit down. What we got? Popular, thoughtful, true friend, safe. Someone would say the similar words. So, Amar, y'all do me a favor. Y'all come to the altar. Amar, you're not Noah either. And here's why you're not Noah. Noah wasn't necessarily popular. He was all those other things, but he wasn't necessarily popular. Let me tell you why. So, in order to have a true connection with God, right, I called it, we did the prayer call like maybe 2 months ago, and I said that you had to be insane. You had to exhibit a certain level of insanity to actually believe in God, to believe in something that you can't see and you can't touch, right? In order to truly have that connection and walk on faith, right, you have to be willing to be a social outcast. You have to be willing to be unpopular. You have to be willing to do stuff that can get you joked on, that can get you judged, that maybe even get you bullied. Let me paint this picture for you about Noah. So Noah built this ark, right, that God told him to build. While he was building the ark, he was still preaching the gospel, right, which I will get to later. He was still preaching the gospel, but while still preaching the gospel, he's building the ark. Now, if you do research according to the research that you might do, there's no record of any type of rain up to this point. There's no record that it stormed. There's no record that it rained, snowed, nothing. Yet he's building a boat. So imagine how he was treated when people asked him, "What are you doing?" And he responded, "God told me to build a boat." For what? Imagine how he was joked on. Imagine how he was treated. I mean, back then, people would spit on you like it was nothing. Imagine how he was treated. But the most important thing in regards to who you connect to is regardless of who's joking you and who's judging you, the number one thing we always forget when we get depressed about what people say about us is what qualifies them to judge you in the first place. What qualifies them to say what you should be doing? What qualifies them to actually joke you and bully you, and you get depressed, and that's their justification that they might be right? What is the qualifications and based on that? If God is telling you to do something, regardless of how unpopular it is, a lot of times you have to be willing to not be popular. Because at the end of the day, it's bigger than yourself. And what happens is years from now, you guys will get joked on, you'll get bullied, or what may have you. But years from now, they look at you on Facebook, like they do me now. They look at me on Facebook, and they say, hey, I'm proud of what you're doing. They look at you as the example. You have people that don't even go to church calling you saying, I need spiritual advice. Because God is setting you up for bigger, but he needs to test your faith to see how willing you are to be unpopular when he tells you to do something. Y'all sit down. Y'all sit down. How do you figure out who Noah was? So Caleb Boyles reads, he reads, outcast, trustworthy, spiritual, and connected. Where's Javon? Where's Javon? Javon, come here real quick, man. Come here real quick. I'm going to put this as plain as I can for you guys to understand, because this is what this is about. I always want to make sure you guys understand exactly where I'm coming from. So, the Bible says that God found Noah to be righteous because he walked by faith. Understand that that Noah preached constantly, right? He preached to the people or what may have you, yet God only found him to be righteous. So the people that he preached to, even though they was coming to hear him speak, they didn't find him to be righteous. Only Noah. Because there was something wrong with the connection. All those words are true, but the most important part is the connection. Now, I called you up here because I give you some credit. A lot of older people ain't gonna like what I'm about to say to you, but I'm in the boat with you. So, there's something that you have on you at all times, except for today because it's broken. It's your cell phone, right? But what you also bring with you is a charger, right? So what? Let me tell y'all what Javon will do if you haven't peeped it. So Javon will either sit on that side or that side on Tuesday nights, right? And Javon, he'll bring with him his phone, but he'll also bring with him his charger. Now, I can't judge him. I'm at least 75% daily for the phone using myself. I'm always on the phone. I don't judge him. I don't say nothing to him. But he sits over there with his phone. And so at first I couldn't figure out why he was sitting in the corner, because a lot of times he'll sit with his grandmother doing church. But I noticed he had a charger, right? And so not only did he have a charger, he had a cord. So the aisle on the side is wide enough for people to be able to walk through. Now, not all cords can stretch that far. So Javon made sure that he had a cord to actually stretch to him, right? And so he would bounce from place to place, because sometimes that outlet may not work or that outlet may not work. So he does this. The third thing when you get a charger is you make sure that lightning bolt is beside that battery so you get charged up, right? Here's the most important thing a lot of you had asked me, and I'm just sharing this with the people. A lot of you had asked me back there in regards to why some people have left the church, why our attendance is down, why we're going through the things that we're going through, right? When you're connected with people, number one, you can't just be connected to them. A lot of people connect with James Jones, with your pastor. He has a lot of friends. He has a lot of people that know him. That's why he has to go into the grocery store on Sundays, so he can kind of hide out. Yeah. But the problem is that when James Jones does something that they don't like, it's easy to leave him. The reason why a lot of us in here won't leave James Jones is because we're also connected to the God inside of him. On top of that, not only are we connected to the God that's inside of him, but we won't leave him Because he recharges us. See, it's not enough to be connected with somebody that's in relationship to God, because the people related to God will drain your battery. You have to be connected to somebody that won't just drain you, that will recharge you. 50% of the stuff that man says out of his mouth makes no sense whatsoever. No sense whatsoever. And I look at him and he be like, yeah, I just believe God is going to. And I be like, Pastor, like, I be looking at him like, but I follow him because I know that he's saying what he's saying. He believes what he's saying because God is speaking to that to him. When he elevates people, his name is on the line too. He's not just giving out free passes. So God has to speak that to him in order for him to elevate the people that he elevates, right? You have to be connected with people. First and foremost, you have to make sure that people can reach you where you are. That's why Javon needs the cord that's long enough to reach him. You have to be connected to people that can reach you where you are. You guys are believers. Not everybody's believers. And I'm not saying not be friends with people that are not believers. But I'm saying connect with people that can reach you where you are. Number one. Number two, make sure that connection can reach God. The people that Noah were preaching to, they were connected to him, but they couldn't reach God. So God only found him to be righteous because when God was telling them to do things, they were living violent. They were living not right. Noah was the only one walking with faith. Make sure you're connected with people that are also connected to God. Make sure that they're connected to the God within them. And then lastly, make sure they're recharging you. Make sure they're speaking it to you. Make sure they're praying for you. Don't let them drain you. It makes no sense to have your phone plugged into an outlet that's not even charging. Make sure you check your connections. Don't plug your phone up and leave it, because that thing will be dead when you come back. Make sure you're connected with people that are not only connected to God, but the God inside them can recharge you. Y'all sit down. Everybody stand to your feet. Everybody stand to your feet. Everybody stand to your feet. Do me a favor. I said I wasn't going to do this because I don't like putting people on the spot. But do me a favor, real quick, y'all. What's up, you guys? What's up, you guys? No, you keep my hands out. My bad.